Now, I don't want to be dramatic, but today's game away at Notts County might just be the biggest game in our history. They are first, we are second. This could have a big impact on where the Vanarama National League title goes this season. And then in just a week's time, we are going to be back at Meadow Lane for the semi-final of the FA Trophy. Let's do a big doubleheader today. Let's go. Hello everybody, we are here turning dog turds into diamonds once again with AFC Rushden and Diamonds. We have come to the biggest game of the season, one of the biggest games in our history. I think it's bigger than when we got to the FA Cup third round a couple of seasons ago. Notts County away, this is huge. They are first in the form table. We are second. They are first in the league. We are second. As you can see from the league table on the left there, we have 2 games in hand. So avoiding defeat here would be absolutely huge. That would give us a real chance to take advantage of our position. But if we lose, it then puts us under real pressure. Of course, if we were to win the game, I mean, that would just be phenomenal. If we look at the league table, Notts County have just been going great guns. They have been hunting us down. Their striker Tyrese Simpson is now the top scorer in the league. James Price has spent most of the season as the top scorer. He has been missing a lot of games because we've just got so many problems with fatigue. But Tyrese Simpson has now overtaken him. Joshua Duffus is the best rated player in the league. So we really are the 2 powerhouses. I mean, we are 12 points clear of Crawley with 2 games in hand. They are 13 points clear of Crawley. We are just clearly the 2 best teams in the league. I'm really surprised by Grimsby and Gloucester, who really haven't been able to put it together and challenge for the title this season. I mean, Gloucester at the moment, they are on a little bit of a poor run of form, and they are in danger of maybe giving up that final spot in the playoffs to Torquay, who are kind of putting a bit of pressure on them there. It's a really, really interesting season. If we look at how things have gone, so the last time you were here, we drew with Gloucester at home, and we then beat AFC Fylde away. We then beat Hereford 3-0 at home. A straightforward game, this one, against a Hereford side that are struggling towards the bottom. Bailey Ty Cadamartri and Thomas Hughes both getting goals before, who was this? Jack Sparks with a late penalty. That was a really easy victory. We then beat Stockport in the 5th round of the FA Trophy, which was absolutely awesome. And it was Liam Gibbs with both the goals. We went 1-0 down. Liam Gibbs with a superb long shot to equalise right on half-time. And then he did it again in injury time to put us through to the quarterfinals. Absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, that was followed up by a 3-0 defeat at home to Scunthorpe. Now, like I say, we have really been suffering with fatigue. We obviously don't train full time. It really affects the fitness levels of the players. I had to make a whole host of changes for this one. I was worried. I knew Scunthorpe, they're in mid-table, but I knew they were a really good team. Dalrymple, if that's how you say it, Dalrymple, I don't know. Now, he was the player of the season a couple of seasons ago in the Vanarama National League. So he is one of the top strikers in the league. And you can see from the team, Staunton came in at right back and Gomer at centre back. Hughes played at number 10. We were playing without Gibbs for this game. Cadamartri and Colwell were the strikers. And we were just played off the park here. We only had 2 shots on target the entire game. We were just really outplayed. and it was our 4th defeat of the season, which was disappointing. But I just feel like I had no choice. I had to make those changes to keep players fresh and give us a chance of keeping more or less a full strength side going through the rest of the season. With those players rested, we were able to go full strength for Billericay away. It was a 2-1 win. James Price and Cameron Gabadebo getting his first goal of the season. He won it in the 87th minute, which was absolutely wonderful. We did dominate the game. If we had drawn this, I think it would have counted as a bit of an FM, and we were the much better side. But we did come up with the victory in the end, before we then went away against Dorking, and we got a really nice, easy 4-0 win. As you can see, Liam Gibbs scored again. It was 3 in his last 2 appearances. Josh Staunton got a goal, which is very rare, heading in from a corner. Corey Roberts with, I think that might have been his first goal of the season. And Joshua Duffus rounded it off in the 93rd minute. We then went away to Woking, won again. James Price and Bailey Tai Kadamatri. He has now started scoring a few goals, Bailey Tai Kadamatri. Really nice to see him starting to contribute and really showing his Football League class. And that took us in to the FA Trophy quarter-final at home against AFC Fylde. We obviously beat them away from home in the last live com. Here it was just an incredible game. I did have to make a few changes. We were missing Duffus. We had Gabadebo partnering Martinez in the defence. Staunton was at right back. Sharif was in midfield with Sheringham. Hodgin was on the left in place of Thomas Hughes, who came off the bench. And, well, it was an absolute thriller. It was a contender for goal of the season. You can see it finished 3-3. We won it on penalties. But if you look at the stats, although they did have a higher XG, all the other stats go in our favour. So obviously we gave up some really good chances. But in the end, we got the job done from the penalty spot. And it was kind of a little bit frustrating having rested players to then have to play 120 minutes in this game. But yeah, take a look at these goals. What a game. So things got started. We got off to a great start. James Price, what a hit. Do you know what? That was not the first goal of the game. I think there was so much action in this game. It's actually taken the early goals away from us. That was Lambert, I believe, making it 2-2 before James Price from the penalty spot. And they then made sure that it went in extra. Do you know what? It was 2-2 at full time, and it was actually Ashley Seal here from the penalty spot that put them ahead before, look at this free kick from Thomas Hughes to equalise. 3-3, and then as it went down to penalties, the quality of the penalty taking was absolutely superb. Fortunately, we had most of our penalty takers still on the field at the end of the game. And yeah, it looked like one of those that might go on forever and ever before we were fortunate enough to get the difference in the end. Our captain, Josh Staunton, scoring his penalty. They then missed the following penalty from Lambert. And we were into our first ever FA Trophy semi-final against Notts County. Absolutely wonderful. Not the best defensive performance, but considering all the changes we've had to make, all the players we've had to rest, the packed schedule, the lack of training, to be in an FA Trophy semi-final, I think is a superb achievement. We then went away to Boreham Wood, and you can see it was Bailey Tai Kadamatri making the difference in this game. They had a lot of shots. They actually had a lot of highlights, but their XG was very low. They really struggled to hit the target with the chances that they had. And it was an early Bailey Tai Kadamatri goal, heading in across. He has given us a real extra dynamic with his aerial ability and heading ability, that amazing strength that he's got. He really has given us something different, and it made the difference here. heading in across from Agyapong, and that was how the game ended. Thomas Hughes sending off in the 69th minute means he has got 2 more games of suspension to serve, which is really frustrating. But again, you can see here we had to make a number of changes. Ling came in at right back and Gomer at centre back, Sparks at left back. Cornish came into the midfield. Mikhail was playing number 10. James Price was rested again. So it was really nice. Even though Boreham Wood are down in the relegation zone, really struggling, they gave us a great game. But we came out with the victory. And it was the same story against Chester. They are struggling in the relegation zone. You can see it was only a 1-0 win, but I mean, we really did dominate the game without being able to finish off our chances. We went full strength for this one. We had everybody except Hughes back. Sparks played on the left wing, and it was Bailey Kadamari once again. He headed in, this time across from the left-hand side from Tatonda. And again, just that little bit of extra dynamic we've got with Bailey Kadamari, making the difference, giving us a decent run of wins since that defeat. So you can see we are now, let's have a look, 6 wins in a row, including the penalty shootout, 5 wins in a row in the league. But that hasn't really helped us because Notts County are on an absolutely incredible run of form as well. Like I say, we are the 2 standout teams. Look at this. They have not lost since Crawley at home in early January, the middle of January. No, it wasn't. It was the 8th of January. So they haven't lost at home since then. They haven't lost since then. They have won basically all their games, only drawing away with AFC Fylde. They are the form team. They have an amazing squad. And this is going to be really, really tough. We've got kind of similar run-ins after this game. I think we have the slightly tougher run-in, but we do have those games in hand. So today's result really is absolutely vital. And if we have a look at their team, yeah, I mean, it really is a tough proposition. There's no doubt about it. If we look at Tyrese Simpson, now the top scorer in the league, he for this level is absolutely superb. Great heading, great finishing, really good mentals for a striker, great off the ball decisions, composure, anticipation, and he is an absolute athlete. 17 strength, 6'1", 14 stone 11. He's nearly 15 stone. Absolutely incredible presence. We've really struggled to contain him in previous games. And I think this is just a really, really tough proposition. There's no doubt about it. Supporting Simpson, they've got some other decent players. We can't really see much of Niall Huggins. But I mean, you can see he's got a decent little bit of speed and athletic qualities to him. Olakibe, if that's the right way to say it, looks a really, really good winger. He's got 15 acceleration, 12 pace, great flair, great dribbling ability, good crossing. Just a really good technical player for this level. He's got 7 assists this season. Lukanic is an amazing midfielder on loan from Portsmouth for them. And he just, from what we can see here, he looks far too good for this league. He's got 8 assists this season, the Croatian. They just have an amazing squad for this league. I really, even though we've got those games in hand, I have to make them favourites. Ryan Burke looks a superb left back. He can also play in central midfield. Yeah, they've just got the best squad. There is no doubt about it. So this is a huge game today. Really, really massive. The implications of today's results cannot be understated. Really, I just want to avoid defeat today. I think if we can avoid defeat, it really puts us in a good position for the run-in. Sorry, I should comment before we carry on. I've got a bunch of players in here on trial, those green players. The transfer window is closing in less than a week for the Vanarama National League. I'm looking at a bunch of players that we might want to get in. We've also got Sam Cornish, he's been offered a contract by Bury Town in the Southern League. He's on a non-contract, so anybody can offer him. He's a great squad player to have, so I hope he sticks around. I have offered him a renewal of his non-contract. He's just with that 14 tackling and 12 marking, 14 first touch, 9 passing. He's a superb option as the defensive midfielder. Absolutely superb, even with his lack of physical ability. And yeah, he hasn't played much. He's a bit unhappy, so I'm worried he might want to leave. But he's a great squad option to have. So hopefully we're not going to lose him, because he is definitely going to have a part to play in the running. Outside of that, Scott Wilson has interest from Stevenage and Boreham Wood. I believe Stevenage are a football league. Again, he's having a great season at centre-back, 7.28 in all competitions. A leader in the team. He's just a really great player to have. Again, I hope that nobody puts in any offers for him before the end of the transfer window. So we'll see what happens there. The team for today is Tommy Reid in goal. Roberts at right back. He is also unhappy because he wants to be played as a centre-back. He is the best right back in our squad without question. His club are complaining that he's not being played in the position they want as well. So I might have to play him at centre-back after these tough games. The more winnable games, I might have to give him that time at centre-back just to keep him happy. You can see his morale is down, but he is our best right back. Martinez and Wilson are the centre-backs. Tatonda at left-back as always. Agyapong and Sheringham are the central midfielders. Liam Gibbs in at number 10. Fran Hodgin is on the left with Hughes being suspended. Duffus and Price up front. Now, Price really needs this game off, but there's no way I can do it. He has to play, our top scorer. So he's going to start this game, and I will look to rest him in the next game. Or depending on how things are going, we might be able to bring him off early in this one. Then on the bench are captain Josh Staunton, Sharif Mikhail Sparks, and Bailey Tai Kadamatri, who is obviously a great option to come in if James Price is struggling. So that is the team. It's basically the regular team minus Thomas Hughes. Being without our main playmaker Thomas Hughes is a little bit disappointing for such a massive game. But Hodgin is a good athlete, a good technical player. I'm sure he can do a decent job there. So let's get into this and let's see. I mean, this really is David versus Goliath. As well as we are doing this season, Notts County in the National League here are just far and away, on paper, the best team in the league. So I think if we can get a draw here, it would be absolutely huge. We've been really good away from home all season, but I mean, the challenge today is just next level. We've really got to turn it on. We've really got to have one of our best performances of the season. I've been a little bit worried about our away performances against lower position teams in the table. We've really made hard work of it against some of the lower ranked teams, and so that doesn't fill me with confidence today. Let's have a look. The pressure's all on them. Go on, I'll go with that. Yeah, we've had the results away from home, but we haven't necessarily had the performances. So that is kind of concerning, going up against the league's best team. See a big stadium and a big crowd today. And let's see what we can do against them here. Can we come up with one of our best performances of the season? We, of course, drew 0-0 with them at home in a very boring game. I would absolutely take that again here. But they win the ball back very easily there, and Randall And Reed showed him the entire goal there. We're probably lucky to get away with that. Tatonda clears and Price gets it down there to Gibbs. Gibbs now loses it. And I think that midfield battle is going to be absolutely huge. I think in midfield they are going to be very, very strong, and we might struggle to keep hold of the ball. We head that corner away, but Golden looks like he's going to get it back in. It does come back in, and it's headed over by Simpson. And we cannot give Simpson too many of those chances. They've already had 7 shots, and we are yet to have a go at goal. Let's demand more of the players. And do you know what? What am I doing there? Now, they've just asked Corey Roberts, who is our right back, to mark Lukanic. I am going to take that off straight away. What is my assistant thinking here? Let's get rid of that, because that would leave their left winger completely open. I've no idea what we're thinking. I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to hit early crosses and shoot on sight, and I'm going to stop running at their defence. We are getting absolutely nothing out of them, so I'm hoping that that can just help us maybe create a little bit more with the ball. We might have to go a little bit more direct as well. We've only had the one shot look, but again, if we can, I'm not going to give a shout until I see the outcome of this highlight. We do win the possession there into Price, but again it's been lost. Price beaten in the air. They are just such a strong team. Well done Hodgin getting back and defending there. Can we make anything out of this? We can't. We give it away again. We're just being absolutely dominated by their defenders, aren't we? And it's through to Simpson, and he's missed another one. We get away with it again. And let's see if we can sort this out at half time. I mean, I've got to be pleased if this is how it ends, as poorly as you might think we've played. If this is how it ends, I mean, I think we have to be absolutely delighted with our day's work. With those 2 games in hand, getting out of here without a defeat would be absolutely phenomenal. Let's see if we can pick things up in the second half. We have had a couple of shots since we made those tactical changes. That looks like it's just got us into the game a little bit more. You can see we're having shots now. Just those early crosses are just sort of getting the ball in behind them. Let's just encourage the players again. We're getting the ball in behind them after winning it. They get the highlight here. Hopefully we can win this ball in the air. And no, we can't. Oh my goodness, what a mistake. Well done Reed, saving from Kelman. And that is a real let-off. And James Price is now injured as they put a corner in. And it's another Reed save. He's having an incredible game. Let's make a change here. And that is disappointing. If Price misses out on the FA Trophy semi-final, that is going to be very disappointing. I'm going to swap Cadamartri and Duffus. Duffus, with his pace, is going to be the advance forward. We're just going to be looking to put a ball in for him and just get in on the end of it. Fran Hodgin has been poor, so Sparky comes in on the left wing. That hopefully makes us as well a little bit more defensively secure on the left-hand side. And let's see if these 2 changes can perhaps just make the difference in the last 20 minutes here. We've had a decent second half. We've competed with them in the second half, which has been very pleasing. I'm going to encourage the players again as we get a free kick here. Gibbs putting it in, and Duffus has headed in at the back post, probably against the run of play, but I am not complaining. That could be an absolutely massive goal in our season. Notts County are far and away the form team in the division at the moment. That is absolutely incredible. Let's start time wasting for all we are worth. We're going to hold shape, slow the game down, and I'm going to knock back our line of engagement. We are going to try and defend this lead and get a massive 3 points if we can. The second half performance has been great. I'm going to make one more change here. Gibbs is absolutely shattered. I'm going to make a defensive addition here. Let's bring Sharif in. I'm going to make Sheringham the defensive midfield. So let's get him in there on defend. Sharif is going to be a defensive ball-winning midfielder. And we're going to see if that can help just shore us up through to the end of this game. And let's just... What a 3 points this would be. Absolutely amazing. I really was not contemplating the possibility of us getting 3 points in this game. 6 minutes of added time as well. No more highlights, please. That is an incredible win. I said we needed one of our biggest away performances of the season, and we have absolutely got it. That is absolutely phenomenal. What a finish. And we are now 2 points clear with 2 games in hand. As much as I think we've probably got the hardest running out of the two sides, if we can win our games in hand and make it, what would that be, an 8-point difference? That would really give us some leeway in those final games. We've got to play Grimsby at home. We've got to play Crawley, I believe. Is that away against Crawley? It is. We've got to play Crawley away, Grimsby at home, and I think Stockport away. Those are our 3 big tough games. I mean, if we can win our games in hand here, we could actually afford to give up points in 2 of those games. So, I mean, that is just a huge, huge result. Look at that. We have got 11 games to play. And right now we are 2 points clear. Amazing. All right, now I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to play Aldershot Town at home. And we will be back for part 2 of this episode, where we are going away to Notts County again in the semi-final of the FA Trophy. Click on the link to see how we get on. Can we do the double over Notts County in that FA Trophy game and get to our first FA Trophy final? Looks like James Price will be okay for that semi-final. That is fantastic. Yeah, see, we've now got fitness concerns for Wilson, Martinez and Duffus. Price injured. We have got to make big changes for Aldershot. Let's see how we get on. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. And click on the link for part 2 to see if we can get to an FA Trophy final. See you when you click on that link.